G'day guys, Jack Dickens, and I'm here with Mark Van Triet. Mark, you're a very loyal Punting Form user.
Correct.
And you're probably the most exciting thing for me and for people watching is that you manage Damien Oliver and Brenton Avdulla.
That's correct, yep.
Can you describe for us how you use Punting Form for that role and which features sort of are the most relevant for you of the entire Punting Form sort of setup?
Well, for me, it's more about profiling a particular race, the strength of the race. And then once you delve into the race, you actually start profiling certain horses. So I go heavily based off the benchmark ratings.
The all benchmark or the class?
I do the all benchmark.
Yep.
I find for me personally, and in identifying certain rides to get for Damien and Brenton, that works more efficiently.
Yep.
And then depending on what type of race, whether it's a distance, especially a distance race, I'll sort of look at the last 200 metres, the increment there.
Yeah.
And probably start back from 800 and then go through.
Yeah, which is a feature that's unique to Punting Form, and it's crucial, I think, and you're sort of agreeing, I think, that to identifying a horse that wants to go up and trip a little bit.
Well, it's because you get a lot of horses that I think the market can get wrong every now and then with, a horse that's running over 1,400, 1,600 metres, and then all of a sudden they step to 2,000 metres, and they might give that impression just to the eye that they look like they're looking for that distance.
Yeah.
But when you actually break down the race and go through the 200 metre increments, you can actually, sometimes you can put a bit of a pot on them and think, well, they actually might need to come back rather than go up. So that part of it is crucial. You can find a lot of winners and horses that run well for my jockeys. So,
and has sectionals and Punting Form always been part of your sort of arsenal in finding Damien the best race?
Punting Form, sectionals, I've been using that for the best part probably 6 to 7 years. So I've been using it for quite a while, and look, everyone can interpret. It's how you interpret it,
I find it's an easy way I can find the numbers a bit confusing, but it's just it's a number that's relevant to all horses and all days, and it breaks it down a bit easier for me to ingest myself.
Pretty much, and you might see a certain pattern for a particular horse. Look, like for me, especially managing Damien Oliver, Brenton, Avdulla, I mean, you can get a lot of just sort of, like the midweek races, for instance. Like you might have a horse coming out of maiden class, stepping up to a particular race, and it is hard taking a step from maiden to a benchmark 64. But where Punting Form and with their benchmark and even their class rating, they can identify that horse that is above average, and it's going to not only going to take the next step, but potentially go to black type races. And that's where, if you can identify that early, and you put yourself at the front of the queue, it works very well. And
I imagine the queue's not that long either when you've got Damien Oliver and Brenton Avdulla.
It's pretty competitive in Sydney at the moment, so but yeah, look, you've got to try and stay a couple of steps ahead of the game.